Hey guys, welcome back. This is Naresh. So in the last video, we have seen that how to call a post method using a Java object. So first we have created a Java object like this through JSON input data. And in that, our constructor was going ahead and storing the data into this ID title author. And if we want to get the data, we can get through these getters. Okay. So this is what we have seen in our last video. Okay. But in the last video, I have told you that it might be possible that it's not just that you have to send the data in a form of an object, but you can also receive the data in a form of an object, which is also a possibility. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's copy this program, and then we will see let's how to modify it so that we can receive the data also into a JSON object. And if you've not seen my previous video, please go ahead, please look into the previous videos so that will give you fair enough idea that how we have created this input data and how we have used that. Okay, so it's giving me one error. Let me see. Okay, so that has not been copied. Let me copy that also. Okay, let me just explain you, then we'll move forward. Okay, all right, so what we are doing in this method, we are calling a random class through new random. We are calling its method next int, and we are giving a number here. So we get a number which is not greater than 1000. So we get a number, a random number. Okay, and then we have created an object of JSON input data, which is a custom class which we have created. And this class is taking three inputs: title, three inputs, that is ID, title, and author. And in that, we have given this random number which is generated as a random ID. We concatenate it with title and then author so that every time when we run, it's a different number which goes. Okay. And if you want to look into this class file, it's nothing but three variables we have declared. We have created a constructor and we have created three getters. Okay, and this constructor is feeding the data, like this will whatever ID we will give in our class, it that get input into this ID. So that's it. That's how we created it. And after that, we have set the base URI through RestAssured. Okay, the URI which you to give, then we have given when then, and in the given, as I said, that we can give various things like all the data parameters, cookies, body. So I have given header as content type JSON, and I have given end condition, and I have given body. In the body I have typed the object. Okay, the object which we have created. And then we have given dot when, and then dot post. I have given the URL which I need to give in the post call, and then I am asserting that through status code, and then I am printing it. Okay, so just give me a moment because my power is its battery is very low. Let me just put the battery. 1 second. Okay, all right. All right, so we have created a class to send the body. So basically we are storing all the data into the body. Okay, and now what we will do, we will also receive the data into a body, and we will compare that if we have received the correct data or not. All right, so how do we do that? So first of all, we need to create a object for the receiving body. Okay, so we will create a new class here. Let's call that as JSON receive data. Okay, like the way we have created JSON input data, the same way we will call it as JSON receive data. And if you want, like the JSON input data, let me just copy this the entire class, and then we will just change it, or maybe create a new one. That's okay. All right, new class, and I will keep its name as JSON or JSON receive data. Okay, so this blank class has been created, and when you know that in Postman, when we are receiving the data, So this is the data which we receive. We are still getting only three data. If we get more than three, we can create object of those also. But right now we are getting a three data, so we will create three variables only in that data. So I will give private int id. All right. So this is one data, another is title. So it's private int title. Okay. Another is author. So it's private int author. Okay. So that's it. So I have given that. And now what I can do, I can just create its getter. So I will do a right click, source, generate getters and setters. I will select getters. I will not create getters, setters. I will just do getters here. Okay. And I will click on OK. So if you see here, it has created a getter for me. Okay. So I have created a receiving object right now. Okay. So let's go back to our program. Okay. So here, what I will do, the place I have given JSON input data, just after that, I will give my this class JSON receive data. I will create an object of that JSON receive data, and a variable name I want to keep same, so I will give the same name. Just give me a moment, just freezing up. Okay, so I will give the name same. I will just make a small letter, which is a camel casting, which we need to do as a best practice, and then I will do new JSON receive data. Okay, so here I have created an object of JSON receive data. Now there's one more thing. There is a class called JSON. Okay, so it's called JSON. So I'm creating an object of that right now, and I will tell you where we need it. Okay, so it would be JSON equal to new JSON builder dot create. Okay, so later on I will tell you that why I created this. Just remember right now we are creating one object of JSON class. Okay. All right, so once it is done, once we have created the receiving object and once we have created an object, what we need to do, if you see here, the given when then, you know, we are just asserting a status here. We are not doing anything else. But let's say now I want to assert the data also which I am getting. So what I need to do, I need to go ahead and store a response. So I will do response, response equal to, all right. So I am trying to store the response, okay, and in the end where I have written .log.all, I will again do .end, okay, and then I will do .extract, okay, and .response, okay. So I am extracting a response now. Okay, this is what I want to do. If you want, you can give and, or if you want, you can remove and, but I generally give and between two conditions so that I can know my given has two conditions because it's always readable in the BDD style. So anybody can understand what we are doing. Okay, so now I am extracting a response from here. So once my call goes on for the post, it will store my response in this, into my response object. All right. Now, what I need to do, I need to fill my, my this JSON receive data with this response. So what I will do, I will do JSON, copy this, paste it here, and here I will give equal to, and now I can use this JSON object. Okay, it's JSON, it's not JSON, it's JSON object. There is a method in that which I want to use, which is from JSON. Okay, and here I need to give the response which I get. Okay, so I will give my response. Okay, and if I want to get its body, so there is a method called pretty print. All right, and here I need to give a class name. Okay, So I will give this class name, this one, JSON receive data dot class. All right, so if you see what I'm doing right now, I have just stored the response in a response object, okay? And from this response object, I am getting the body through response.prettyprint. It will give me the body, okay? It says that, it will return the body as a string. So I am getting the body in a string, and in that I want this body get converted into this class. JSON receive data class. So all the data which is there will convert into the format of this class, and then I am storing it into this object which is of the same class. So this object will be of the same class, which you have to remember. Okay, so once I get this response, now I can go ahead and assert the things. So either I can use hard assert or soft assert, which I've explained in my Selenium series. You can use any one of them. So let me use the hard assert right now. Okay, assert equals, and we have to make sure we are using the test ng one. Okay, all right. Okay, let's use this. All right. Now here, what I want to give, I want to compare something because whenever we do a assertion, we have to make sure our expected thing is matching the actual. So if you see here in our Postman, what we have given. We have given something here, id equal to 3, title equal to JSON server 3. And once we have click on the send button, we receive some response. And here also we are getting this one, okay? So I just want to make it sure whatever I have given, the same thing I am getting in response also. Okay, there can be other things also, but right now I just want to make sure whatever I have given, because this response is giving me those same data, so I can compare that. If it is different, then you have to put a logic according to that. Okay, now all this data is in object format. If you see that I have given the data into JSON input data, I have given received the data into JSON receive data here, right? So everything is in object format. So if I want to get the data of this object, I can get it through the getters which I have created before. Okay, so in the actual, I will give JSON receive data. Okay, and I will put a dot. After that, there is a getter which is called get ID. So I will choose get ID, and then again I will give here the expected. Okay, so this is my expected, and here, okay, so J should be small. So just wait. JSON input data dot get ID. So I want whatever ID I has given, it is same what I receive. All right. And in the same way, I can receive all the data. Okay. So instead of dot get ID, I will type dot get title. All right. Dot get title. Okay. And the another is an author dot get author, and here also dot get author. Okay, see guys, the work I am doing right now, get is a getter which we have created before. Okay, if you see here, we have created a getter here in the input data. Okay, if I don't need a getter, I don't have to create it, but I know that in assertions I need to get the data, so I am created a getter here. Okay, in the receiver also I have created a getter also here. Okay, otherwise I don't have to create it. This is the reason I have created a getter method here. Okay, so you can use this getter method and you can assert that. Now let's try to run it and see what is the response which we get. All right, right click, run as test ng test. So it would be running. Let's see. All right, so it seems we got a response. Okay, now there is some problem here. Let me see. It says JSON syntax exception, number format exception for the input string title 800. Okay, so we got an exception here. Okay, so are we doing something wrong here? All right, so let's see our class. It seems okay. The input data is also okay. So receiving data by mistake we have given int title, right? And int author. So this is not correct, right? Because it should be string and the return type should also be string. Okay. So what we can do here, we can just try to change it. So it would be string title and string author. All right. And the same way we will, return string title and string author. All right. Let's try to run it again. Run as test ng test. Okay, so it seems now it has run and there is no error. If you see, it has given some headers, it has given the body, and it has passed. You can see the body is coming 2 times, but you don't have to worry about that. It is because we have given .log.all and we have also given .extract.response. Okay, so one body we are getting because of this, another body we are getting because of this. If you want, we can remove .log.all. Okay, that is fine. We just want to get the response. All right, so this is the way through which we can, get the response and store it into Java object, and we can compare it like this. See, basically, these are the things which happen in any time when you are working on a big frameworks. You have to create object, you have to read from the files and all those things. It is not pretty straightforward, okay? Like just, sending the strings and all those things. So this is how it is done. Let's just walk through this program again, what we did. We have just created a random ID through this method, and then we have called our JSON input class by creating a JSON input data. We have passed the data, and into this my constructor has filled that data into these variable. That's it. After that, we have created a receive data, and this is my receive data class where we have created the three variables and three getters for that. So we are not doing anything on that. I have just created an object, and then I have created a JSON object. And why I have created that? Because JSON has one of the method which we'll use later on to convert the data into an object. Okay, because by default we get it into the JSON format, and JSON will convert into an object. We have given the rest assured base URI, and after that we have given an object of response, and now we are calling given when then. In given we are calling headers. In given we are passing the object of the input data. In when we are calling the URL of post, and in then we are first asserting the status and then extracting a response. See, this is a smart move. We don't want to extract the response if my status is not there. If it's 401, then there is no mean to go ahead with this. So that is the reason we have given the status before, and then we have extracted the response. Once my response is extracted, if status is okay, then I am going ahead and I am calling this JSON from JSON. Okay, and here what I am doing, I am getting the response body through response.prettyprint, and I want that this get converted into this class object. So I've passed this class, so it will create this class object, this method, and restore it into the JSON received data. Now I have my input and result both into the class object. So if I want, I can do a comparison through this JSON receive.getID and JSON input data.getID. Okay, so both my object will get compared because I have shown you in the postman I am getting exactly the same data so that I can do it. It might possible that when you are getting the data, you can get more than three, you can get 5 to 7 data. And then you have in your class, you have to create all those 5, 7 variables. And when you're comparing it, three variable you can compare from, from both the class, but the extra 5 or 6 things which you are getting, maybe you have to put some other logic in that. Okay, or you can just even hard code also. All right, so this is the way we receive the data into object format. I hope this has helped you to clear a bit. In the next video, we will see that if there is a very small thing, we don't even have to create the object, a JSON object or a JSON file. or even the Java object, we can directly pass the string also. So I will show you in the next video. All right. Thank you for watching.